Mixed race voters gives MSNBC an earful. They said, going to Howard don't make you black. I haven't seen this clip yet. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I think this is an important demographic that we don't talk enough about, is people that are mixed race. So we're going to play this clip. We're going to talk about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram. And follow me on X as well. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from BizPack Review from Sharia Marley. She reports that a group of mixed race voters dug into how their identity shaped the way they vote, making for some very interesting moments. The group was comprised of 2 Democrats, 2 independents, and 2 Republicans, one of whom is Abdul Ali, a GOP congressional candidate. They are all mixed race North Carolina voters and were brought together to discuss how their unique identities play a role in how they view presidential candidates. One member, a Democrat, says she didn't plan to vote for, quote, someone who does not support people who look like me. So I don't know why she believed that they don't support them. But let's just play this clip. Here we go.
Can you raise your hand if you are a Republican, Democrat, Independent? Does the way that you identify racially impact your politics, or specifically how you plan to vote this election?
Absolutely.
How so?
I'm not going to lend my support behind someone who does not support people who look like me.
I don't think he sees me.
How does Trump not support you? I don't understand.
As who I am.
Former President Donald Trump.
Yes.
And what about the rest of you?
I just don't think that Kamala Harris has anything vested in the Airfinger, quote, black or Hispanic experience in so much as it would be identified by anybody that lives in those communities.
You're saying you don't think that she can help black or brown people?
No, I mean, go.
Well, she said she wouldn't. She said out her mouth she's not going to do anything to help black people. That's exactly what she said. I mean, she can't walk that statement back.
On to Howard don't make you black.
A conversation that quickly turned to this moment in a July interview at the National Association of Black Journalists.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
What did you think when you heard those comments?
Highly offensive. I mean, I think probably every multiracial, mixed race, biracial person has had the experience of someone else telling them that they are not something enough. I think it's kind of triggering.
That's not what it is. That's not what he said. We're talking about, she said she was Indian one time, multiple times, pretty much her entire career, until she decided to run for president. Now all of a sudden, she said she was black. That's what happened. I mean, that has nothing to do with that. He legitimately thought that she was Indian, because for years she said she was Indian, and then all of a sudden she said she was black. I mean, who wouldn't be confused by that? She flip-flops on everything. She flip-flops on her race. She flip-flops on her beliefs, her values. She flip-flops on her policies. So we really don't know who the real Kamala Harris is.
Right.
I think it is impossible to be biracial in America. And I think that it requires that you're covering all bases at all times. And it requires constant recognition of both identities. And I think when Donald Trump says stuff like that about Kamala Harris and implies that she's like picking a race for political advantage, it's tapping into an incredibly familiar sentiment.
Yeah.
But that's what she's doing, though. That's exactly what she's doing. Depending on the audience, she decides on what her race is. That's exactly what she's doing, and that's confusing to people, understandably.
I think everyone on this panel can understand.
Marie and Abdul, as Trump supporters, when you heard that comment, as mixed people, how did it register with you?
Well, my first thought was, that wasn't very well thought out. At the same time, though, when I heard it, I didn't hear it as an attack on blacks or Indians. I heard it more so of him commenting towards identity politics and the appeal that some take to play up one side of their race over the other.
Adol, I see you nodding your head.
I agreed with him. I didn't know she identified as black because everything I saw was first South Asian, first Indian. There's none of that identified as black.
Regardless of her parents, I mean, she was born in this country, and she identifies as a black person in this country in an American way, in a uniquely American context.
I've never heard her identify herself as a black woman.
She said multiple times she's a black woman.
I've never heard it.
But I'm black.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of being black. Politics sometimes becoming personal this year, with mixed-race Americans having representation on both tickets.
I don't agree with anything J.D. Vance has to say. I mean, almost nothing. But I think it's incredible that we've gotten to a point where the Vice President of the United States can have a wife named Usha Chilikari and a son named Vivek. That doesn't mean I won't vote against him in November.
Even though you disagree with Kamala Harris politically, do you feel some kinship towards her as a mixed person?
Not personally. I find a lot of her trajectory to not be my brand of woman leader. We've got...
Because she's so fake. She's so disingenuous, and it shows. I don't know why people can't see it. I mean, her fakeness just, it comes out every time she speaks.
3 major international crises going on, and someone applying to be commander-in-chief. As a woman, I want to see you do more than, appeal to giggling and having a girl moment on the stage.
Was there ever a moment that sort of forced you to confront the concept of race?
For me, it's more about ethnicity. As you guys can see, I have an accent, right? And I speak with an accent. I don't think with an accent. You just learn to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
A conversation with implications beyond the ballot box.
I think every time we see polling, it's about race. And, as a candidate of color, you put a lot of stake into how this candidate represents, say, the black experience or the Indian American experience. I think we will never ask Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Bill Clinton or George Bush to do the same thing. I think white people are expected and people of color aren't.
To do what?
To be in the highest office in the United States.
I should note that one of the gentlemen we spoke...
How do you say that when we had President Barack Obama be president for 8 years? We had 8 years of a black man as a president. So how can you even make that statement? This is what I mean by low information.
Spoke to there, Abdul Ali is currently a Republican candidate for North Carolina's 12th congressional district. His opponent is Representative Alma Adams, who was elected back in 2014.
Interesting. But I'm all for it. I love the discord. I love the talk. I love having Republicans, Democrats, and Independents all sit down and having this conversation. Although I didn't agree with some of it, I still love the conversation. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.